But yes, no mini stun does hurt a little bit. I don't know. I still think Puck's a fun hero to be able to watch play Dota, so maybe I'm a little bit biased in that regard. But Ember Spirit, he's plenty flashy as well. But we can see some of these clearly prioritizing a bit more on Elephant, taking away Monet's hero
Dire
pool. A
team
lot more of
pick.
those abilities,
Witch
heroes with the ability to
Doctor.
flash farm, and a Witch Doctor coming out. Okay, so this is the polar opposite of what we saw from Elephant in game number one, right? Because you and I were talking during the break, and just having a look at the post game scoreboard, it became a lot more apparent in that if you go this Omni Knight in the position 5 role, you're basically just resigning yourself to one hero not doing any damage in the game. And if you are, it's you might splash onto one hero with a purification. That's about it. You don't want to be in harm's way. You don't want to be right clicking. Whereas you compare it to like heroes like an Abaddon and an Oracle that do very similar things. Oracle, ranged hero, you can get multiple purifying flames off, which of course is fantastic. Fortune's End for some lockdown. False Promise, what more can be said about that? It's not dispellable, unlike the Guardian Angel. And then hell, even with the Abaddon, you can frontline because of your borrowed time, and the Curse of Avernus allows you to take towers, and a Photic Shield even, it's going to explode, dealing 200 damage in a pretty decent AoE, and you're going to be applying that pretty frequently. So I feel like in terms of these more sustaining safe laners, Omni Knight's probably at the bottom, so it's a little bit of a surprise to me that he's been picked up so much.
Dire team pick.
What is the go here for Aster? Back into the monkey. Okay.
They got rid of everything else, so why not?
Okay. I like
They still need a way to lock down the Ember, right? At the very start of the team fights. Boundless
Yes.
into a zip, that's about it. But if you've already used your Boundless, that's a lot of your damage potential taken away. So I feel like Aster still needs something that either is able to start the team fight and enable you to get your Jingu stacks up, or they need something with a ridiculously high amount of damage in either your 4 or 3 rolls.
Radiant
Could opt for the... Okay, they're going to go
That's a
Sky
high
instead.
amount of damage.
That is. Instant Silence in the Ancient Seal. I was thinking they might go for like a Lion or Shaman for the Instant Hex. Now an Anti-Mage getting picked up. So the Monkey King fares pretty well versus the Anti-Mage, but the rest of the heroes from Team Aster aren't going to have the greatest matchup.
Yeah, that's it. The Monkey King does all right, but no one else. And very easy to dodge out a lot of what Team Aster are going to throw at you. Hell, you don't even need the Mage Slayer. We were frothing about it a little bit, but it didn't end up doing too much for maybe Square to pay. I feel like if you're going to build the Mage Slayer, it's much better on the heroes like like a Pangolier, something that's able to very frequently apply it from range,
Yeah. We're looking for the position 3 here from Team Aster. They need a way to start the fights to catch the Ember, and also a way to set up for the Mystic Flare. Slaughter also the best laning matchup versus the Anti-Mage. Legion's probably the next one I'm looking to get banned out here because of the Jewel, and also because you have a passive in the lane to do decent versus the Anti-Mage, and there's the ban. So now you can think of a little bit of team fight maybe in the Mars, pretty good with the Monkey, but the lane matchup isn't... You do rely on mana in that lane. You could then think of the Axe, pretty decent. Gives you... Both these heroes give you a way to set up for the Mystic Flare, and also another jump to help with the Ember Anti-Mage. It does have a passive, so makes his lane a little bit better. When you look into play into an Anti-Mage, you want a hero that has a passive, something that can trade against the Anti-Mage and not rely on mana.
Yeah, for sure. And even just thinking into the later stages, right? Something that's not targeted. So Berserker's Call, AoE. The Mars Spear, it's just a skill shot, basically. Nothing that can potentially be removed by that counterspell. So I'm liking the Axe pickup. It enables you to farm as well. You can deal damage through the Flame Guard on top of that. So it's a pretty good pickup for mine. Laning stage is now going to be somewhat difficult, actually, for the top lane here on Elephant. A lot of damage being able to come out from that concussive shot into the Arcane Bolt, Battle Hunger, of course. This might even be like, I don't want to say a max Battle Hunger game, but you're going to get a lot of value out of it for sure.
I don't know what Elephant need. Again, laning into Monkey King so difficult. I was thinking Beast, that's what was banned out in the last game, but against the Chen, Yeah,
Rough.
you never want to lose your ball.
Earth Shaker.
You may now select your heroes.
Wow.
Off lane coddle? Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Let me have a think about this. Obviously, the laning is probably one of the better things that you could have, but what do you do beyond that? And again, how do you start team fights? That's my big issue. Like, is this just going to be a super long game where Eurus just never shows up at a team fight and split pushes the map down? If he does, you've got plenty of ways to catch him, right? Like, Monkey King can be in the trees, Axe, Blink Call, Storm Spirit zip in, Skywrath. And then the team fight is still a lot weaker right now on Elephant's side. I'm feeling very confident about Aster this game.
Yep.
And it is a good Mage Slayer game for Somnus. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that are going to be doing a lot of spell-based damage to him, and that Sleight of Fist is going to hit onto all of them, but I feel like it can't be your first item. You need some sort of way to stop the pressure that's going to be coming in onto you.
And it looks like a game where Aster can run it over pretty fast. I mean, AM needs quite often 3 items until you really feel you're most powerful. I mean, Battle Fury Manta is not enough quite often, and especially versus someone like a Monkey King. And that's a bit worrying because if Monet gets a Battle Fury at 30 minutes and then a next item at a really fast rate, you could just take Roshan, get the objectives, all the outer towers, and maybe even if you win a team fight, you could go up high gun really early. And Radiant, they're going to lack a ridiculous amount of damage. This game feels all on Somnus to be making the plays, and they have to somehow funnel more net worth over to FY than what they did in last game. He did struggle, so that's maybe the difference here, seeing if he doesn't die as many times, but they need a fast blink on FY.
If game one's anything to go by, you're going to be struggling a little bit. He already has a lane ward set up here, so they clearly want to be getting a decent amount of harass off with the Keeper of the Light combo. I feel like maybe you could place it a little bit further up, just so at least you get some glimpse into the trees there, where a Chen might look to be hiding. And again, another deep ward placed down there. You would assume that that's going to be for the Skywrath, who is already a very speedy hero and might be able to use it to snipe some couriers.
Might see another level 1 fight as well. Here for the side of Elephant up against Aster. Yeah, they're all continuing to group up.
This is one of the few times where Elephant's lineup is actually a little stronger. Is it a level 1 skirmish? You know, the Witch Doctor, very good, level 1. Ember Spirit, pretty solid. Keeper of the Light, if you get off a maximum channel Illuminate, it's very solid, but well, not going to opt to. It's just going to be a 2 for 2, I believe.
So Yang at the moment has got an urn queued up here on the offlane Coddle. We've seen a lot of the early nulls, and I mean,
he's thinking that I don't like it. I'm struggling to see how you're going to get kills, for one, to build up into it, and then B, like, what is the later purpose?
Okay. I don't hate this. I mean, AM in a tri-lane is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And Monkey King should be able to outman fight him with ease. It's... Are they... Do you feel like Elephant can defend this tri-lane if they actually bring FY down bot? Because Witch Doctor's not the worst in a tri-lane, and Fissure can be pretty handy.
It depends what they're able to get as well. Like, it's just the Divine Favor right now on Lanham, so they're not the strongest on Aster. It's just about nullifying Eurus's start to the game in my eyes. So FY, at least he's going to have a better start. You know, he has no opponent essentially, so he's going to have to.
And while mid, it always seems to be a pretty favorable matchup here for the Storm Spirit against the Ember Spirit. Why do you feel like this is always kind of favored here for the Storm?
I mean, you're a ranged hero. That's one little bonus. 2, you've got the ability to come in from quite a long range. You've got plenty of ways to get through the Flame Guard. It just feels like you trade so much easier.
I was thinking they might give FY that complete wave of experience while they were cutting the wave here, so he had level 2 to maybe come down bot. But that is kind of the issue is with the Earthshaker, because his level 2 isn't as valuable on some of the position 4s. Really needs kind of that level 3 where you get a lot more value out of the second ability.
Is under attack.
It doesn't enable any kind of kill potential as Yang actually makes a TP down to the bottom side. Could they go for a kill here onto Lanham? He's just out of range.
Use the cast to bounce back on the neutrals, maybe? Even
Lucky
Euros
bounce.
to jump in forward. Well, the supports should be able to get the right click damage, and Yang even making sure he secures it with the Illuminate. But that is your position 3 TPing down, so is Euros going to look to leave the lane? Or are they going to give FY
like, this
priority?
is a big wave up top. If you wanted to come now, you're getting a lot of experience. Yeah, here we go. And in the meantime, there's that strength, and you're even going to get a bottle refill with the Chen going down. So just things going even better for Aster.
That is not sights you want to see for Elephant fans. Somnus getting soloed by White Album. I mean, again, in a difficult matchup. Sure,
I'm
but
in a little bit of trouble here.
it's just
Blocked up.
trying to get rid of the... I mean, you know, whatever little ways they can make White Album feel some pain in this lane, considering he did also get some assistance with the TP refilling the bottle.
Somnus will be okay though. Oh, they're going to make a secondary attempt here. Is it going to be enough? I mean, Somnus is not getting aggressive. There we go.
So they 1 point in slide though.
Really? They're backing off?
Huh.
I was positive that they could have gotten a kill there.
So this is, again, we're seeing a lot of emphasis though from FY to try and help enable his position 2 in a really rough matchup. Maybe this is why they didn't mind picking the Ember into the Storm, because they know how hefty they like to play around. Yeah, super. He's in trouble, Monet. One more stack into the Jingu. And his first kill picked up of the game, adding to the tally. Was such a high markup in our first game.
I mean, FY, he was camping mid a lot in game number 1 and didn't result in too much in the form of kills. At least he's going to be able to get rid of the Observer Ward this time, so some more valuable gold being funneled his way. Yeah, unless you're getting kills onto this Storm Spirit pre-level 6, then, you know, he's very close to picking it up. They're going to be a lot less vulnerable.
I'm just like, why are you giving the value to Coddle, the farm priority to Coddle instead of the Earthshaker? Like, what item and levels is Coddle going to have more value over than a Blink on FY? That's my question, and I don't know what Yang's going to itemize for, so I'm really waiting to see what he shows us, but right now, I can't think of much.
I mean, all I can really think of is that when you're an Earthshaker, and you've got your Blink, Echo, sure, it's great, but you're very much like one and done, if you will. So there's a fight happening bot side. They're going to catch Borax somewhat.
Nice silence at least. FY still, they've got a lot of control. Might cost FY his life, but with Boots and Windlace, he can kite through Monade. And now they're actually looking to turn back on Lenham. Fish is up in a couple seconds. If he can find the angle to block off the Chen, they're able to maybe potentially get an extra stack in the urn as well here for Yang. The right clicks should be enough as the urn will tick him through to get him into the threshold. And now Monet is even going to blink on forward as well. Fissure not available with Borax coming back alive here. It can help out with the extra Arcane Bolt burst.
But yeah, like I was saying before, it's very, like, Echo Slam is great, right? Against a Chen army, against something like a Monkey King or a Storm Spirit that is capable of being burst down before you're able to either zip away or get your Jingu stacks up. But beyond that, you just kind of useless.
White
Is he
Album?
getting caught out here?
FY's going to be perfect with his Fissure. Is he in the threshold to fall? He is. That's a big one to find. Yeah, he kind of stutter stepped there. I don't know. Because still the Zipper's got a pretty big cast animation. He would have had to turn himself around as well. But, okay. Elephant, they're making plays to give them some hope. 1-8 as well. Oof. That's no urn charges now.
Maybe people set up. Yeah, maybe might be laying a bit of a bait here with Yang. They've got the backup. Nice double stun.
Now they're going to be careful the cask bouncing back and forth, but Yang is already fallen ever so low that White Album can claim the kill. And meanwhile, I mean, Lenham's just loving life. He's like, okay, I'll take the valuable experience mid. No one else is looking for it.
But yeah, you just compare it with the Keeper of the Light, right? You're just being able to constantly fire off these, 525 magic damage illuminates, which are going to be, of course, lower cooldown when you level up that chakra magic. But it's basically, by the time you fire one off, you're just going to be able to cast another one with the use of the chakra, right? So it's just going to be really effective at stopping a lot of this early push that Aster might be looking to go for. It's just how it scales that's the concern for mine, especially considering they've gone this early earn. I mean, the fact that he's fired off 4 different earn charges is pretty good for Yang. I thought he might struggle to get even the single kill.
Guess all things considering, Yurus actually White Album in trouble? No, it looks like he's okay. Well, yeah, all things considering, Yurus is getting a decent amount up top. I mean, he's only 300 behind the axe, and he's got 3 components of the Battle Fury. This is a naked Battle Fury, though, so that is something to keep in mind, but if he can somehow get enough space this game to pick up these items, do you still feel like the Anti-Mage could be this Ultra Win condition that Elephant are looking for?
Potentially. The concern for mine is that Monet's having an even better time, you know, and I'll take that Monkey King versus Anti-Mage matchup every single day of the week. We'll be in a position to accelerate faster, though, you know, being a full item essentially ahead towards the Battle Fury progression.
You're
Got that.
I was watching close eye. I was going to say it's really smart play for him to drag the creeps over, because he's recognizing that he can't kill the hard camp by himself. I mean, it's going to cost him so much of his health pool, and it was a cute attempt with the Mana Void.
You get the counterspell off, though, so XXS, he's going to be having his movement speed slow down a little bit, of course, clearing off very quickly, though.
Middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Monate, he did pop the Wukongs down bot. They were kind of making a play on him, so just the ulti committed, and he's like, stand back! Cannot go any further. And with that, I guess Monate's still looking very farmed. Meanwhile as well, FY is just kind of switched up from the build we've been seeing from him for a while. These past 2 Earthshaker games, he's been going for the Arcane Blink as well. Chen getting chased down, jumping straight on top of XXS. Meanwhile, the river as well, Storm trying to find the catch, but they've got the control. Ember's in trouble. 1 fissure, enough to give Somnus some space here. Nice dodge of the Centaur Conqueror stun as well.
Man, he's been dodging absolutely everything. The Fire Remnant, good use of FY to disrupt that team fight again. And, well, the team fight, at least, has been a lot more on point here from Elephant.
Oh, Borax. Be careful. He wanted to...
Mana Void up.
Eurus would have loved that little bit of gold if he could get it. But unfortunately for him, not the case. No one's farming bot at the moment, but looks like with the eventual catapult wave connecting to mid, Elephant want to try and take an early tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower
This probably isn't what I would be expecting, you know. You can see Eurus, he's gone back to farming, as you do, as an anti-mage, but the rest of the team, they're putting a lot of priority into securing this mid tower, and really, there's not too much that Aster can do about it.
Bottom tower is under
Eventually,
attack.
White Album makes the rotation through, but things looking fairly alright for them still. 2k net worth. What the Battle Fury timing's looking like. Almost picking it up now on the Anti-Mage. Monet as well. He's a little bit behind, maybe only about 600 gold or so.
Again, though, it is because this is not the naked Battle Fury at all from the Monkey King mid. They're setting up with XXS's reveal and the blink. They really want Somnus. Really, really want him bad. Let's see if they can find him. Mystic Flare should be plenty of burst, and that is an incredible reveal here of the blink.
And they can also see that there's a little bit of a stacky stack built up here inside the triangle. It's only 1, I believe, so it's not huge value if they're able to take it, but you've still got an axe, and you've still got a Monkey King that's approaching his Battle Fury.
White Album. Deep zip in. They're just targeting down Super at the moment. Great Fidget blocks off the retreat path, so they're going to have to try and find a secondary route through the triangle camp, but again, Radiant, I mean, there's going to be a big lack of damage and kind of lack of heroes as well, as AM really not looking to get involved.
I never thought that there would come the day again, but I remember... Oh, F5, nicely done. Taking away the regen rune. Might cost him his life, but White Album, he has to be a little careful about going up onto that high ground. There was like a 70-page PowerPoint on Chen creeps, and like which ones you should potentially get from like a massive Chen spammer. I mean, he's back. I might need to do a bit of a review on that. You can see, obviously, there's the benefit of the Mud Golems that Lanham has had for quite a while. But one of the big parts of it that is underrepresented is the fact that they do soak up a fair amount of damage from the towers. Like, you can soak up, I believe, 14 total damage when you combine itself plus the golems that they go into, which is like 14 tower hits we're talking here. So, I mean, that's a lot. You know, your entire creep wave can survive for the longest time, so you can't leave this Chen unchecked.
Definitely not. It's even going to get even easier for them with the Helm Dome getting worked on here from Lenham. Currently, he's got multiple Satyr banishes, so heavily looking to play into the Purge here. Great versus the Chains to get rid of the Flame Guard. The Blinding Light as well is always going to be nice. Eurus, though, in the meantime, he was able to finally farm up the Ancient Stack in Elephant. Well, they're looking for a smoke, unfortunately. Lenham's probably not the ideal target, but it looks like that's the one they have to resort to. Maybe even getting some of his Chenlings as well. That'll put him down a little bit there, at least wasting a lot of the Chen time once he respawns.
That is the advantage to the Witch Doctor as well, right? All these Chen creeps, you're always going to be able to guarantee a few more bounces, and the creep stun duration as well, 5 seconds as opposed to the 1 second for heroes.
How's 1-8 still looking though? Yeah. 1k gold in the bank after the Battle Fury completed. He's working on the BKB once again. Yeah. So he did go for that second item, right, last game? I'm like 90% sure he did.
I think he did. He went like an Echo Saber and then he disassembled it into the BKB and then started rebuilding back into the Echo Saber after that.
Yeah. So he's got pretty heavy commitment in both games, it seems like, to get this early BKB and really put like a stamp on his game.
But like when you think about it, once he picks it up, what can Elephant do against him? All of these heroes do magic damage. The only thing is like a Death Ward maybe might be able to
XXS and Borax. See if they can find it. Oh, they're both grouped up. F1 storm this. Maybe even Super's going to join them in the party. It's only going to be the Earthshaker that's caught at the moment, and an instant Orchid as well, preventing the damage from the Ember. They won't be able to bring him down through the initial stun lock, and now Storm's wasted all his mana, so Eurus will pounce, dropping the Mana Void, getting a big bonus bounty as well into the position 1.
Nicely done. Monet continuing to farm. You know, he's not going to get baited in by the team's attempts to go for a kill. He needs to finish this BKB. He knows how strong he's going to be once he reaches up until that point.
Jumped in on top of the Skyath Mage top 2. Okay. Hander got a bit too late, unfortunately, for the Chen, but XXS should be able to get some retribution here. There's a cut-off super. They're looking for Yang next. Somnus, they've got F5's Blink reveal as well, but the Wukong's drop, committing entire... It's too difficult. Yeah, there's no opportunity for them, unfortunately, so they just have to see 2 heroes end up being penalized, and in the meantime, Eurus now's going to be careful too. A zip in from White Album, he'll have to fall from XXS and into the Cull. A great fast-paced play from Aster as they punish the position 1.
Anything else that they can take as a result of that? No stacks, I suppose, but could look to continue playing around the top side. That was the perfect time for Monet to make that rotation, right? Like, he's not the greatest team fighter. He's only got the 1 point in the Jingu Mastery, and so he can't just be there at the very start prior to the BKB, because, you know, they had their full complement of, well, everything. They had ultimates, they had health, they had mana. But if he comes in for the secondary fight, that's a big death on the career, by the way. No more Maelstrom.
Oh, super. No, no, no. The classic position 5 warding expedition, just trying to de-ward the high ground. make his jungle a little bit safer for his cause, but a game like this, and this is a big issue where I was thinking like maybe, are they going to get FY2? I was thinking maybe Radiant, they have to play this game on just consistently shoving out the lanes and try and delay as long as possible for Eurus to find these items, and Ember's very good at doing that with the Maelstrom. But you take a look at Aster's heroes, they are exceptional for finding pickoffs. You know, Axe with Blink, Storm with Orchid, a Sky as well can hunt if he gets a decent amount of farm. Now Borax is 1, 3, and 3, so it's not like he has the greatest items to enable that, but even the Monkey King too, being able to consistently jump through the tree line and find someone that's just hiding in the, you know, top lane or bottom lane in the trees. So it's not going to get any easier for Elephant to delay this, and it's kind of showing the moment with how they can get these pickoffs.
Yeah, and just with how you're able to play, right? The Axe just took away an Ancient stack, so any sort of way that you can hinder Eurus's farm is going to be amazing, of course. And as well, it makes his positioning a whole lot more predictable. So all of these pickoff here is great.
They've got the Orchid now with this extra control, dropping the Death Ward. They need the follow-up and FY. Oh, beautiful. He waits just as soon as the Sky gets straight on top of the Storm, and that's when he'll pounce and drop the Echo.
A little bit harder, of course, to get those sorts of pickoffs, and it does result in 2 ultimates needing to be used. So it might be a case of now Aster, they're going to be respawning in 25 seconds. As long as they can group together as 5, they can look to make a bit of a counterplay here.
Somnus, they're going to jump. Boundless sets up for the call. Now with the Wukong's command, they've got the damage thanks to the Golden Army. When 8 does pop the BKB, just in case there was any rebuttal from Elephant.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they always love doing this, Aster. You know, you have a look at your death timers. They're, of course, well aware that, you know, there's the potential for the Skywrath, for the Storm Spirit coming back, but the combination there of XXS and Monet, they were just like, you know what, we're just going to get in here while you've still got your guard down a little bit and quickly take out the likes of an Ember Spirit. So when he respawns, he'll at least have his Maelstrom, I believe. Yep, there we go. So it gives them a lot more team fight prowess, but still, it feels like it's going to be another minute and a little bit until you're going to have that Echo Slam. And Anti-Mage, he's not ready. He's
no, sir.
700, 600 gold away from his Manta style, where, you know, at that point, you can at least go on the supports, you can try and clear out some of these Chen creeps, but it's going to be so rare that they're not joined by at least one of the Aster cores.
Elephant still looking to get pretty aggressive here. Man, Ember's got to be so careful. They don't have a saving support, and with him playing this far on the front line.
Storm as well up on the top side. He's got full mana though, so he's not going to be too concerned.
When do we feel like Eurus is going to reach his powerful stage where he can, you know, start to get involved in these fights?
He needs the Basher. You know, it's that sort of thing that you might get lucky against the Storm Spirit and you can't get the instant zip away. It's the extra little bit of time so you can get a full mana void off. It might stop a Monkey King from using his Wukongs. I think, again, it feels like they're going into luck a little bit this game.
Sometimes the RNG, you know, can swing in your favor. Sometimes Daddy Gaben just doesn't give you the percentage. As Dire looking for a smoke up. They want to continue to put the pedal to the metal. See if they can really slow down this Anti-Mage, who has been doing a pretty good job to keep up with Monate's farm. But Elephant looks like they're aware of the smoke coming forward. They've been able to back off, reset. Maybe they're also positioning for their own smoke here.
Yeah, they did it underneath the Observer Ward to the right side of the Tier 1 tower. So they knew every part of that was going on. And you get a sense of, like, on Eurus, for example, he pushed in just one extra wave, realizing that they can't get up to the top side that fast. He goes bottom, but that does mean that they have freedom to play over this top side of the map.
Ooh, XXS is going for the new Ag Shard. Have you seen anyone go for this on Axe just yet, or what are your thoughts?
I have not, and it kind of is... It's a bit weird, right? Because it's counterintuitive to the Blade Mail as well, right? So you're going to be taking less damage. Sure, you'll still be spinning as much on the counter helix, but yeah, it kind of nullifies the effectiveness of one of your key items.
Does seem very interesting though. Like, if you get all the stacks off, then it's reducing a bonkers amount of damage. I mean, additive, it can get up to all the damage being reduced, but it's
only 6 seconds though. I mean, 6 seconds is quite a while, but when you're an Anti-Mage, you just blink away, right? Assuming you're not dead.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see. Really intrigued to see.
I mean, you would hate to see a fight, right, where he gets the blink call, pops the blade mail, gets frequent usages out of that, the counter helix, and then, you know, Anti-Mage doesn't end up killing himself, basically.
Radiant's
And
bottom
that's the way that
tower
Elephant are
Yeah.
able to turn the game around.
I think it's definitely an Aghanim shard that still needs some time to be experimented with. And we saw for a while, you know, people were playing around with the axe. It was really China, the region, to innovate this hero as the position 1. And we'll see if they're...
Speaking of shards as well, we've got one on the Chen, so the ancient
Chen?
Black Dragon coming out, providing additional armor to everyone.
Where's the Black Dragon? There you are.
Right on the high ground.
12
And he's got
radius
a
with three.
gem as well here on Lanham, I believe. Well, he bought it. I think it's... Where is it?
Where are you,
He
gem?
dropped it in base.
Yeah, I see it.
Alright.
Storm, BKB. It's actually Elephant that have smoked up at the moment. As Yang, what's he going for next? Octarine into the shard. No Dagon. It's not the position 2. This is another big item from Aster with the Aghanims completed on the Monkey King.
Oh, it's an Echo Saber on Eurus. So something a little unorthodox. I was like, he wouldn't Mage Slayer, would he? He's already got some decent magic resist with his counterspell, of course.
Does he... I wonder if he feels like he just can't get another item before the fight breaks out. They might find some this top. Has he got a remnant set up? He does. Okay, so...
And going a Blink Fragment on
Yes.
Anti-Mage. First time I've seen that, so I'm keen to see how that might work out. You know, get one of those in onto the back line, start to deal with the Chen creeps. Hell, even the Skyrath would be amazing. In the meantime, though, Roche being attempted, and Elephant, they're either none the wiser, or they just have resigned themselves to the fact that this ain't happening.
I mean, fighting around this area with all the golden army starting to ramp up, it's a great spot for a Earthshaker, so to say, and even sometimes the Witch Doctor and the Ember too, but this looks like too difficult of a task for Elephant to defend, as first Roche given over to Aster.
My thrift rewarded.
And here comes this siege. Just the tower after tower. The first ages that I was speaking about came a little bit later than I was expecting, but I feel like still it's going to be the same, where they're going to feel such an incredible amount of power surging through their veins, and you know, tier 1 tower probably soon to be the tier 2 top and mid.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Kudos to Elephant, though. They know that they can't fight into this yet. They're not quite ready. And, well, honestly, it's getting to the point where you're not sure when they are going to be ready. You know, the Yule Scepter, it's coming up soon for FY. You've nearly got the Boots of Travel on the Coddle, but it feels like it's beyond the point now that the Coddle is really going to have that mass effectiveness.
Well, they're trying to defend it. I don't know how... You've got 2 Ancients. Like, how do you kill these off?
Tower's doing a decent job.
Okay. I want to stall them out. Eurus is closing in on the Ags. 2 more components left till this one's completed. Who do you feel like he targets with the Blink Fragment? I don't know if you're ever going to see the Storm to use it on him. It feels like it's just kind of annoying the backline, or...
Gotta be the Sky, right?
Yeah. I guess it's even nice, like, if you can see the Axe, just chuck it on him and cancel the Blink. That could be very handy.
Also, there's lots of details, like, what's the cooldown of it? What's the recharge time?
Yeah.
All these sorts of things that Gabe is just like, you know what? You'll figure it out.
Time for you to work it out. Oh, it's the classic with these, like, charge abilities, like the, for a while, the Void Spirits one was really wonky with the time. Okay, so he's disassembling the Echo.
Yep.
So
to provide him the Ogre Axe component.
Okay.
And now he's got the last bit, so yep, there it is. Alright, now will he go Mage Slayer? Oblivion Staff's there.
It's the teleport scroll. How stupid of you, honestly.
I know, right?
Like, you have to be expecting this. He's got no TP. You're saying he needs the Mage Slayer before the TP. Hey, he's going for it.
Let's go, baby!
Let's
Just
go.
a little bit of extra. Oh, there's the Blink Fragment. I wonder if he's going to use that to bait out a few kill attempts onto him, because he uses the counter spell on the back lines every single time. Charge restore time, 25 seconds.
XXS?
And it costs 50 mana.
They're gonna try kill on top on the axe, but instantly, as soon as the Witch Doctor shows, now with the Ember as well, with the Ancient Steel, into the burst damage thanks to the Mystic Flare. An attempt to bring down, but it cost them 2 heroes.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And then the
attack.
Chen just prevents all of this anti-mage rat push.
Bounty.
Alright, so the charge restore time is 25 seconds on the Blink Fragment.
Yep. And it costs 50 mana.
3D mana.
You can buy the Mage Slayer now if he wants. Let's see if he's more intent on saving his buyback. I feel like if you've gotten to this point, you kind of got to go all in.
They're doing a pretty good job for this game to... I mean, the net worth is still growing for Aster, but would you expect it to be accumulating at a higher rate? Hold that thought. They're going to jump in, walk it out with the BKB. It's forced very early on, but with this, is going to try and target down the Coddle support. Force Staff helping out with his positioning, still Eurus. Not the biggest mana void, but FY's got his back with the Echo Slam. It's enough to kill off the Skyrich Mount. That White Album's in trouble. The taunts out on top of the Anti-Mage, able to fall bound to strike control as well. But the game, perfect use of the layer of the control as Eurus will lose his life. Somnus too late to join the party, but still, White Album's going to be careful. Chain's not enough, but in fact, I mean, he's still got the Aegis. This is a heavy committal just to bring down the first light for the Storm Spirit, and now they're pushing back FY and Super as Monet stalking through the tree line, Tarzan flying from tree to tree.
Super standing there petrified behind the tower, waiting for his Glimmer Cape to come off, hoping that Monet doesn't jump into the trees.
Oh, he's so slow.
Radiant's
Dude.
bottom tower
Whips
has fallen.
himself.
He was so lucky he didn't walk up those stairs.
Yeah. And then
Radiant's bottom
the big
tower
army,
is under attack.
it's coming. No Echo Slam, no Earthshaker for 20 seconds, no Anti-Mage for 30. How do you
Radiant
stop this?
structures are fortified.
I'm not sure. How long an Aegis? 15 seconds. White Album's going to be pretty careful. Well, looks
He
like
might just
he'll...
want to die.
Yep, you'll just tick it out before. A kill off the T3
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower has fallen.
And that's all they're going to get here with the casualties on Elephant. Okay. Well, there. I was kind of saying this game hasn't been blown wide out of control as Aster are very methodical, just continuing to slowly grow this economic lead. But after being able to take those fights, I was going to say, I swear it said 10k. I think the top is a little bit glitched there. It is a 10,000 net worth lead after that and the tier 3 tower. So a lot has been broken into the map now from Aster.
It has, and well, it's a very... the opposite of Big Dick Energy coming out from Anti-Mage. He went back into the Echo Saber. I am so disappointed, and he's going into the Skull Basher afterwards. I suppose he felt like he was lacking a little bit in the damage in that team fight, which is understandable. You make such a heavy commitment. You can't just put yourself in a vulnerable position that the axe is able to come in onto you and just quickly burst you down. Another small component that's going to be nice for it is that you're going to have the Blink Fragment to be able to put another unit inside the Skyras Mystic Flare, so soak up a little bit more of that damage, which is going to be nice, but it, I don't know, I don't feel like it's going to be enough to be able to turn the tide for Elephant, unfortunately.
Feels like there has to be some miraculous Echo Slam from FY, but the only issue is like, who creates that chaos? Anti-Mage is nowhere near at a stage where he wants to blink into the middle, because he's just going to get instantly cold, instantly silenced, whatever it be. Ember as well. I mean, he's only got yours, but again, I mean, this axe pick is just 4-0 and 5 on XXS. He's not looking too hot in the KDA. Nothing like what we saw in 1-8 last game. But it's just been consistent catches from him, and that's all they've required from him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation to be in. I feel like with this Anti-Mage, you can see he's going into the Basher next. Probably it's going to be something like Basher into breaking down the Echo Saber again to build into a BKB, and then selling the Oblivion Staff component.
Oh, who they've caught out. Ember. Just another big pick off across the map. We were speaking about it earlier, but how do you delay this game with Aster's pick-off potential? And it's just even going to get easier and easier as the game goes on.
And you compare the way that Aster are going to these ganks when it was... God, who was it yesterday? IG, I believe, against Elephant. They respect the fact that they're coming up against the FY Earthshaker. And so every single time that they're getting one of these high priority targets, White Album's popping the BKB. Doesn't matter if the Earthshaker's there or not, he's popping it just to be sure, so that there's no sort of counterplay for it, and you can guarantee the kill onto the Ember Scroll.
Come in handy.
This really just feels like a lot of anti-mage games, though. Like,
Nothing happens.
Yes, like it really looked like a pretty good AM game. The only issue was you're into a Monkey King. Like that was the real big worry, that this hero feels like you outscale him, because how do you fight Monkey King? He's going to come online earlier as well. He'll farm a little bit faster because he has, even though Primal Spling's not the greatest farming tool, like maybe, you know, a built-in Sven Cleave or like a Metamorphosis or anyone with illusions, but it's enough to get you that bonus influx of gold and then kind of scale early. But it's this constant trend on AM. Get a couple of items, it doesn't matter. Then it feels like you're always farming the entire game.
So the way for mine that Elephant can come back into this... Oh no.
Good knowing you. Just another pick-off.
He'll continue to farm, or try to. Monet says no, as he takes away both of those baby black dragons. If they can some way take the next Roche, I think that's going to be enormous for Elephant, because I think while it might be nice to see something new in the Aghanim Scepter here for Anti-Mage, it's the Ag Shard for mine that would be so much more value for him. You know, having that wide spell damage reduction is going to be great against a Skywrath, against a Axe and a Storm Spirit for the rest of the team. But then for that small little window, you know, reduces spell damage by an additional 20%.
Hex reveal. XXS should have the follow-up control. Once the Hex expires, even just going to make sure there's no way to disrupt him, popping the BKB before the blink. There goes your win condition. Monet even going to find a solo kill across the map on FY. Boundless Strike on cooldown, FY. Okay, he actually made it out. Huh.
He wouldn't go for this, would he? Super no.
Why not? Just lacking the detection. That's the only thing stopping Monet at the moment.
But yeah, I feel like the Ag Shard much better on AM this game when compared to the Aghanim Scepter. Like a 30% damage reduction when you've got an axe on top of you spinning around with Blade Mail? I know what I'd take.
So there has to be a question now of how strong really is this Monkey King? This is 3 games where Monet has actually just completely dominated with the Monkey King pickup. It's like, I really feel like it got some really solid buffs. Do you feel like Monet's just playing it to perfection, or do we really think this hero could be pretty strong in the meta?
I mean, clearly Elephant didn't think so, because they banned out 3 other position 1 cores ahead of it. I think it was the Juggernaut, the Lifestealer, and oh god, I'm forgetting one other one. I'll look at it afterwards, but clearly not valuing it quite as much. I feel like it's got good sustain. The change to the tree dance is way too overpowered for mine, and then you've even got that niche little way. Did he? Yep, he's just got the Ag Shard now, right? So the Mischief now has a cooldown of 8 seconds, which you could dodge out so much damage against a team fight like this, and disjointing projectiles as well. It's not going to be amazing this game, but I mean, it seems pretty busted to me in certain matchups.
Yeah, and his talents got changed too. The 20 attack speed replaced with a 0.3 second boundless strike stun. Like his previous patch, they increased the boundless strike stun as well.
The base stun, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think it was only like 0.2 or something, but that's enough. Like this hero is a really great way to set up for any stun follow-ups afterwards because of how far you can use it and your catch potential in the tree line. Like attack speed is great for the monkey because you rely on these procs, but honestly, boundless strike is incredible because this is a hero that really relies on not getting kited. And also what their 20 talent, they changed the 40% boundless strike crit with +2 Jingu mastery stacks, which he hasn't gone for it this game. I wonder how that's going to fare as it continues on, but 13-second boundless strike cooldown is pretty nutty. Speaking about Monet.
FY. Poor little blink illusion. Really quick figures there by FY. Nicely done there to be able to get away from the attempt from Monet, who just had hit up onto the level 25. So the additional Wukong's command ring means that Now, when they're looking to siege with their Aegis
Radiant's
onto the
middle
high ground,
tower
it's
has
just going to
fallen.
become next to impossible to try and contest against it. Yang's positioning is going to need to be basically perfect.
Wide
And
open.
that is not perfect.
Yeah, they just want to take away Yang. You're just bringing it up how it needs to be perfect. Somnus on the backline at the moment, along with the Blink Fragment. An instant hand at God. Completely dissuades the
gen
rest of
creeps.
Elephant to be able to jump on
locking him
full.
in.
They've got the Abyssal Blade, but where's the control afterwards? XXS, can he provide it? An instant slide, and he's back to safety with the Remnant, so the force at the buyback on Yang. But still, Aster in fighting shape with Monet holding the Aegis at the moment. How do you jump him? He can just build up the illusions. They've got the creeps on top of him as well. 3,600 health that they have to go through, so maybe they'll slowly burn down the mana with the Blink Fragment.
No Death Ward now, and the courier madly races out towards the outpost. I was about to say to buy an item, but I mean, Eurus, he's holding on to 4,000 gold. He needs to spend some of it before this next team fight. To me, it just still feels like a BKB game, you know? You get the, well, maybe. It's so hard to say, right? Like, I feel like you just need something that's going to enable you to get into the fight, and you can trust that the rest of the team are going to disable XXS so he's not able to get that blink call in onto you. And then you can still eventually go into the butterfly like he's trying to, right? Because you can just
Again, zip in, White Album on top of Yang. He brought back previously. There's no way to keep him alive. Yang's gone out of the fight, down for 90. They need to create chaos here for FY. They're relying on a huge mana void as Eurus will clean off the Skyreth Mage. Lennon protected with the Glimmer Cape at the moment. And that chaos is enough. They'll reset Aster. Maybe they're hunting Eurus actually. They scouted him out of the base with that Observer Ward, so XXS is setting with a TP top, but Eurus, his spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that Manta up there, keep pushing the lanes out. You've got the 35-minute double siege creep wave, so Elite wanting to deal with that somehow, and, well, Monet deals with it in return.
Well, I mean, we've seen crazy things happen. Maybe, I mean, it's not tier 5 territory though, and the fact that your counterpart position 1 is about 10k ahead of your anti-mage, that's not good signs at all here for Elephant, but maybe these tier 4 neutral items, they could offer some way, some possibility, a slither of chance to force this to a game 3.
Well, he's got the butterfly.
Oh, okay, by Witch Doctor. Oh, nice, actually, yours timing. Aegis will tick out in 35 as well, so if Aster don't have this timer perfectly done, maybe this is a way Elephant can come back with a pick off on Monet before it ticks out. Well, just gotta try and deal with the first life, and Monet has no issues with that at all. Gets a refresh in the health and the mana department. But again, trying to minimize the effect of XXS jump in. They've caught out the anti-mage. There's no follow-up though. So BKB wasted from White Album, and it looks like the rest of Aster just have to reset.
They do deal with their vision, but again, all the barracks are naked now. You've got one lane fully taken out. Melee racks on the top side, not all that healthy. And it just feels like, I don't want to say a foregone conclusion of how things are going to work out for you, but it's looking rough still. That's the real Eurus as well that blinked on forward. That's the thing. You can kind of, you can play a bit of mind games here.
Smoked up Elephant. Feels like a bit of a desperation smoke as it pops instantly. Somnus, Remnant on the backline, but he's gonna get hold. XXS, what a play. They've got the burst for the Mystic Flame. No, he's healthy with the Yule Scepter. Somnus, Slide, can he get back up to safety? Remnant back on the higher ground. It's gonna go back in with the Aghanims, but the big issue is Monet. A huge Wukong's locking in 2 acute attempts. But in the end, this Monkey King, you cannot fight into the King. There's Eurus, I mean, he'll keep his life. Wow. It's just... We're just... feels like the only way they can get back in this is those exact clutch minor plays that's somehow surviving on a slither of health, and unfortunately just not enough.
Yeah, Ember Spirit did a good job to survive for as long as he did, but to be honest, probably shouldn't have put himself in that position
Eurus?
to start.
He's showing outside the base. Oh, wowie. What a meta dodge. I mean, this game is 27,000 net worth lead, but you can still appreciate a dodge like that.
And there's that Wukong's. I mean, you just cannot invade into this.
Got the Black Dragons to help out. That should be the full set. And the only one remaining now is down bottom to hold Aster away from Mega Creeps and away from potentially taking the series 2-0.
What do we got in terms of anyone close to some big talents? What's Coddle's level 20? Nothing that amazing. Chakra Magic Dispels isn't bad against an Ancient Seal. But I feel like whenever that... Oh, Witchbone. Nice item against a Storm Spirit.
Very much so. Very much so indeed. Even the Dispel, of course, versus the Orchid.
Oh, that's actually really nice on an Ember Spirit, right? You're constantly hitting multiple units. 4% every single time.
And he'll 100% take that Dispel.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh yeah. This gives him another way to play on the edge, and again, it feels like that's how Elephant are going to have to try and come back into this, is make plays that, you know, if they don't pull off, you look absolutely dumb, but if they do, that's a Pogger's moment right there.
Base is getting pushed at the moment, yep. And they did also see FY go to the secret shop, so Dire at least have some awareness of the Earthshaker's positioning. They've smoked up, looking to try and connect to the potential Ember to move to the triangle. As what is, I mean, still lacking huge amount of items here from Elephant. Wait, this is a long zip in. Is he solo killing the Ember? White Album? Once again, the Cyclone? Whose Cyclone was that? Wait, what the heck? Oh, the Wind Waker. Okay, from FY. I was going to say, what's going on there?
I love that item.
So expensive. Oh,
it needs to be cheaper.
So expensive. It does. It's got so much value.
Like 6,500. I think that's it's expensive, but not like.
What's it now? 71?
No, 6.8.
Oof.
Dire are scanning.
DD on Monet. Oh, that's not what you want to play into. Look at XXS's damage.
Nice
Again, the Wind Waker. Maybe Eurus can get himself back out to safety with the blink, but it looks like he actually went in straight on top of Somnus. The Hex is there from White Album. They've got the cull to cut off the head. Luckily enough, for buybacks available. Monet's a bit split away from the team, but I mean, going into this Monkey King with a DD is, again, a tough ask here, as they're just bleeding buybacks.
They're continuing to commit into this when, I mean, that buyback was used when you saw that the Monkey King had the double damage.
Okay. He's going to buy back too, so maybe he can delay the inevitable. The rest of Radiant coming over. White Album's been able to catch out the anti-mage. Again, where's the defensive factors to keep AM alive? It's there from the Force, but it's instantly cancelled with the Boundless onto 3 from Monet. And it'll force Elephant to call it quits. It's another 2-0 victory.
I mean, Somnus just wasn't connected to that at all. He was farming a bottom wave when FY goes in solo. I think maybe that team fight had kind of gone beyond the, we can come back into this. He was just like, look, let's see how many heroes I can get. But I think they knew that it was about time to tap out.
Yeah, Aster looking on some pretty top-notch form at the moment. 2-0ing Elephant?
I mean, that's what they do. You know, that's what their brand has become, whether it's for good or for bad.
Well, I mean, it really comes down to if you can turn that around at TI. I mean, that's the big question. You know, we've seen Aster through the DPC have some incredible online performances, but it lands the question mark. But at least for this regard of this tournament, their start to the group stages has been phenomenal. I mean, they haven't dropped the series so far, taking down IG, taking down Vici, and now taking down Elephant. And that means they still probably haven't versed the arguably weakest teams in Aster, Ares, and Team Magma. So for the boys on Aster, this is... you can't get too cocky now and you can't get too complacent, but it's looking like an incredible start to your groups to potentially set up for an upper bracket start in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the only other team that's kind of up there in terms of the quote-unquote more challenging ones is RNG, who they'll be playing not tomorrow but the day after. But if you had to give an MVP to that game, what would you reckon? I mean, that time I think Monet definitely deserves it.
That's a toughie. Yeah, maybe even XXS, honestly. He was pretty good with the arcs. It's
And he
very,
did
very
end
good.
up going away from getting the Aghanim Shard on XXS as well. So I wonder if he kind of like
Mm.
realized in real time what I was saying with like how it's counterintuitive to the blade mail.
Really, like, I do want to see the axe go for that item throughout this tournament. I just want to see how it fares, because I feel like it has some potential to be experimented on and actually have some place in Dota with how it sounds, like reducing the damage. Maybe it's only going to be played against a lot of the hefty physical damage lineups, but I feel like it might have a place. We've been casting it a lot, and we're always saying like versatility. We want to have as many heroes, as many items, be as versatile as possible, because it just makes Dota more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think maybe in a lineup where you've already got your position 1 and 2 that have the capability to take ancients, like whether it's I don't know, a gyro TA or something like that. Then maybe you can get away with it because you're not going to be buying a blade mail. You don't really have the need to enable yourself to farm in that way. But yeah, again, it seems like we've been getting a lot of 2-0s lately.
We
It was
have.
yesterday, today, the day before, there was 1-2-0. And really, it was only the very start of the tournament where it was going to the full 3 games. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's it for today. But tomorrow we have got an
Oof.
action-packed day.
Oof,
3
oof, oof.
best of threes in a row.
It is. So we're going to be starting 3 hours earlier tomorrow with 3 best of 3s instead of the back-to-back double header. We're going to be kicking off the day with Invictus Gaming up against Vici Gaming. Another bloodbath of 2 Chinese titans, both representing China at the international. And then after that, it'll be followed by the brother and sister Aster Aries versus Aster. And then to close out the night, once again, Elephant will be taking on Magma. They've got now 3 series to close out the night. We'll see maybe if this time they can perform a little better. But on this day, Aster, too hot to contest into, as they'll take the series 2-0 to close out our 5th day of the group stages for the I-League Season 2. We'll see you guys back for some more China Dota action. Remember, 3 hours earlier tomorrow with 3 best of 3s. We'll see you guys then.